So you want to learn how to do Harley wheelies, this is the video for you. What is going on, guys? Welcome to my first video. I was gonna say welcome back, but you've never been here before. Welcome to my first video. Alright, I guess since this is my first video, I'll introduce myself. My name is Jordan. I ride a 2006 1200 XL Custom Harley Davidson Sportster. That is what I ride. And I've been building on this thing for a little while now, not too long. I've fallen in love with it. It kind of sparked something in me to start a YouTube channel about it. So yeah, I went and bought everything. Now I am videoing. We'll see how this goes. But I basically kind of just want to bring you guys along on my journey to getting better at riding this freaking hog. I'm all right at riding it. I can do wheelies. I can almost do some drifting here and there. But that's kind of the main point I wanted to start on. We're headed to the lot right now to do a how-to video, so I can possibly teach one of you guys how to wheelie your Harley Davidson. I'm going to try to go through about kind of what you need and don't need to wheelie a Harley Davidson, because there's a lot of people out there who think you have to completely set up your Harley Davidson to wheelie it, which is just not true. Before my 1200, I had a Sportster 883, and that bike was completely stock besides bars. And these are actually the same exact bars that came off of it. So don't let somebody tell you you can't do something because of your setup. Go out and just learn. The cops have been kind of hot today, so I'm like trying to keep an eye out for where I do wheelies. Is this guy turning or is he going straight? He's going straight. But yeah, right now we're just kind of headed to the place that we call the lot. It's just a road kind of out in a secluded area. So yeah, I'm going to try to give you guys the rundown on my Sportster 1200, and I'm going to see if I can show you one of you guys how to do a wheelie. Alright, so this is my 2006 Harley Davidson 1200. So I've got 15-inch rear shocks. This is a Thunder header 2-into-1, a Screaming Eagle intake. There's chrome bits everywhere on the bike. There's no front suspension done, so I guess nothing there. I've got a Saddleman step up. The bars are stock Harley bars on stock risers, so you can look at everything there. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and my mid controls. I have Harley brand mid controls with some Amazon foot pegs. I believe that is it. Alright, the number one priority you want to focus on when you're wheeling a Harley is your rear brake. You want to have like total control over your rear brake. That is your saving grace. Without your rear brake, you will loop it every single time. I promise. Once you get it up, make sure you have that rear brake dialed in. That is your number one main concern. You just want to feather it. You don't want to hold it down. You just want to get back to balance point, and as soon as you hit it, make sure that rear brake is covered. That will save you in the long run every single time. I promise. That is the number one thing you want to focus on. Is the bike is really heavy, not in the middle of the bike, but it's a little bit forward, because you can see the way the frame is and where the engine sits. So it's really hard to get the front wheel up off the ground and back into the air on balance point. Alright, so the first thing I could probably say to get started wheeling your Harley is posture. You want to have really good posture. I cannot stress that enough. Posture is probably the biggest part. You don't want to be slouched up on your Harley. You want to be sitting up with your feet and your knees bent, and you want to be right there at your bars, like ready to just rip up on it. If you're on a stock Harley, it's really easy to sit slouched, but try to sit straight up. It'll help you in the long run. The second most important thing to note is your timing. If you've never wheelied anything else, then your timing is going to be your biggest issue with ripping the throttle, dropping the clutch, and yanking it up all at the same time. So you want to give it gas, you want to hold it, drop the clutch, and yank back all at the same time. I'll give you a demonstration right here. Make sure your timing's right and your throttle is steady. See how my throttle is super steady? I'm not jabbing it a lot. That's what you want, because that'll hold you right here in this balance. That'll hold you right there in that perfect balance point like you want. Alright, so you know that you need good posture. You know that you have to have your timing right. How much should you rev the bike? When I was first trying to learn how to wheelie a Harley, I would rev the thing like crazy. I would rev it to pretty much rev limiter and then drop the clutch. If you can avoid doing that, completely avoid doing that. Get used to bouncing on the seat and pulling it up that way rather than just straight dropping the clutch with like 5,000 RPM. Your clutch will thank you later. It actually takes very, very little to get one of these bikes up in the air. It's not a lot. If you can get it up in the air, the best thing to do is to be super, super sensitive with your throttle. Don't sit there and do this right here, because it's going to be really hard to hold your balance point when you're sitting there jabbing the throttle, because it's going to want to shoot you back and drop you forward. Alright, and for the people that want to do wheelies on their Harley in second gear, this is not easy like first gear. First gear will come right up. Second gear is a bit of a struggle. So you don't want to be lugging it, and you don't want to be super cranked up in the RPMs. You want to be right in that middle spot to where it gives you power, but you're not already in the power band. So you're going to want to follow every single one of the steps I showed you in first gear. When you're doing your timing, dropping the clutch, giving it gas, and pulling back, you're going to want to absolutely jump on it. You're going to want to preload these front forks, like straight throw them down. And then when your forks come back up, that's when you want to pop it up. So you're going to preload and throw it right up. It's way, way harder to get up in second, but it's also not the hardest thing in the world. It's just a little bit harder than first gear. So we're not lugging it, but we're not in high RPM. We're going to get our timing right, and we're going to preload. And then it comes right up for you. Just note that when you are doing wheelies in second gear, you're going to be going a whole lot faster. So make sure you cover your rear brake. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's all you really need to know to get started and to get practicing your Harley wheelies. If you take every single one of those steps and go out and practice them every single day, then before you know it, you'll be doing wheelies like crazy. But yeah, guys, if you thought this video was helpful and you like to see more, drop a follow and subscribe. We'll see ya later.